Good morning and welcome to chapter 3 of Girl Wash Your Face. I just had some internet problems, so if you saw this pop up already, I'm back again. So the lie for this chapter was I'm not good enough, and you can kind of comment. She didn't talk a lot about the I'm not good enough part, but she did talk about how she is a workaholic, or a recovering workaholic, as she put it. And that really, she, after going to a lot of therapy, had realized it's really because work comes easy for her and she's really good at it, where like being a mom at home, she felt like she wasn't good at that, so she really poured her time into work. So maybe that's something that might resonate with you too. Like, is there something that comes easily, so you're like always doing it and it's easy and fun and you feel accomplished? And then is there something that you kind of are backing away from because maybe it feels harder, or it might be on your priorities list, or you want it to be on your priorities list, but it just doesn't come as easily for you. So I kind of liked how she talked about that. A big part of this chapter was her talking about how she had a lot of like physical problems, and like half of her face got paralyzed, and she had vertigo, like stuff like that was happening. And she went to doctors and doctors and doctors, finally went to a holistic doctor, and he basically said she was having a physical response to an emotional problem. So she was like floored by that. She could not believe like our bodies did that. So I thought maybe that's gonna be one of the discussion questions. I thought that might be like an interesting thing to talk about. Have you had a physical response to an emotional problem? So most likely for her it was caused by stress, which I know has probably happened to most of us in here. So if you want to share that, I thought that might be an interesting thing to share, and how you worked through that. If you worked through that, maybe you're going through that now even. But I really wanted to make sure I mentioned that because she like just could not even believe that our bodies could do that. And I definitely have seen that with a lot of people. I've seen it with myself. So I wanted to make sure I really put that out there just in case that is like a new concept to you, that can happen. Stress can cause crazy things in us. So feel free to share that kind of thing in here too. So basically her doctor told her like the way to get better is to do nothing. And she is the type of person, I'm sure you can tell, maybe some of you are, that have a lot of trouble doing nothing. So he said like, what would happen if you stopped moving? That's gonna be another discussion question to talk about. So like, hey Libby, so are you someone that has trouble not doing things? And I know a lot of us are in seasons of our life right now where like we don't have the choice a lot of times to like sit and do nothing, especially if you have young kids. Maybe, yeah, hey. But what would happen if you stopped? Like the world would, and like really get quiet in yourself. A lot of us have a lot of trouble doing that. You want to just keep doing, like she was saying even when she was home and she was relaxing, like she was really like doing dishes, doing laundry, just like organizing cabinets, not stopping. So kind of just think about that. Is that something that's hard for you, to not do something? Oh, and I liked how she talked about like the first thing you can do before you can take care of other people, you have to take care of yourself. And I feel like we're talking a lot about that in here, like, which is why you're all here, right? You're here to take care of you so you can be better, whoever you are out in the world, mom, wife, sister, friend. So I really liked how she talked about that. She talked about looking for joy and peace. So when she was trying to quiet down, she really she said she hustled for joy. That's one of the things that helped her. I liked how she said that. So like really focusing on like what brings you joy. Like I remember, I don't know what book I read not that long ago, but or something I listened to said that like, what do you like to do? What makes you happy? And I was like, I don't even know. Like, do I even do anything all day? Like for me, I mean, I do my workouts, but that's like, that is for me, but it's not like I don't get super joy out of like doing a workout. So really like getting clear on that, like what are some things that you like to do? Like in this season of my life, I love getting a nice coffee and listening to my audiobook and driving my kids around for 2 hours while they nap. Might sound silly, but like that brings me joy. Quiet time. So just think about like in your season right now, and we're always in a season. Doesn't matter, even if you don't have little kids, you're still in a season. What can you do for you in the season you're in that brings you joy? Not something you think should bring you joy, but something that actually makes you happy. So I like how she said she hustled for joy. She's so used to hustling for her job. And I know a lot of you are that kind of like moving kind of personality. You're always hustling for something, so why not try to hustle for something that's going to make you feel good? So I liked that. She talked about celebrating accomplishments. I know so many times, I think so many of us do this. You finally hit the goal. Maybe you finally like hit the weight loss goal, or you hit like, you did all your, maybe you were planning on 3 workouts for the week and you did it, and then you just move on. You're like, okay, well, we'll move on. But like really taking the time, like celebrating what you have done, like, and really, like, that will also kind of give you more joy when you realize, like, wow, I did it. Like, even if you didn't do it perfectly, you did it. So I liked that. She also talked about how she learned that she's loved just as, oh, someone's ready for a nap. So anyway, so things that helped her. So she said, things that helped her. Stand up. I don't know what you just saw. Things that helped her was going to therapy. So she recommends therapy like at every turn. She said if she has like Beyonce's money, she would pay for all the women to have therapy. So I definitely want to put that out there. If that's something like you want to invest some money in, go for it. She, like everyone, she's always talking how that's helped her really talk through all her stuff. So I like how she kind of keeps bringing it up. She hustled for joy. Oh, and she reordered her list of priorities. So, how many times have you said, oh yeah, my priorities, my kids, or maybe you have pets, my dogs, my job, if you have a spouse, my husband, or my wife, or blah, 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 right? You know your priorities, you can list them off, whatever. And then she says, are you on your priority list? And I think in here, maybe more of us are on our priority list than out in the normal world, because you said yes to this group. So for you to say yes to this group, you know that you should be on your priority list, and you want to be on your priority. I shouldn't say should. You don't want to should on yourself. But you want to be on your priority list. So I think we're maybe a little further along with that than maybe a lot of other people. But she really talks about that. Like, make sure you should be number 1, which, like, that's big. Are you close to number 1? Probably not. Most of us aren't close to number 1. But, like, could we be closer, or sometimes number 1? And she talks about really getting enough sleep, water, nutrition. Oh, you're so sad. So I liked how she talked about that. Okay, so here's your discussion question. Okay, are you on your, what would happen if you stopped moving? Are you on your priorities list? And have you had a physical response to an emotional problem? Or anything else that came up from this chapter? Talk about it. Okay, I'll tell you guys later. Bye.